This is Shwesandaw Pagoda. Among Bagan's temples, Shwesandaw Pagoda is one of the highest, and that makes it one of the most famous viewpoints of the region. This imposing Buddhist structure is visible from far away, rising from the plains of Bagan. Following the ancient Pew tradition, the stupa is situated outside the city walls, where, along with four other pagodas, including the Shwesandaw, it provides spiritual protection for Bagan. King Anawrahta, founder of the Bagan kingdom, built Shwesandaw Pagoda in 1057. After his conquest of the Mon kingdom of the town, the king constructed the temple to enshrine rare relics of the Gautama Buddha, which were brought from the defeated empire. This 11th century pagoda is one of the few at Bagan that you can climb up. One of its unique features is that there are stairs on all the four sides leading right up to the fifth terrace, and this definitely makes it a lot easier to get up and down the levels when there are lots of tourists. This is Myazedi Pagoda. The Myazedi was built during the first half of the 12th century by Prince Yazakumar to make merit and to serve as a memorial to his mother. The name of the paya translates to Jade Pagoda. The famous Myazedi stone inscription that was discovered here is on display in a small building next to the pagoda. The famous Myazedi inscription, the oldest stone inscription in Burma, inscribed in 1113 by Yazakumar, son of King Anawrahta and builder of the Myazedi Prince Yazakumar, dedicated the stone inscription to his father. A large four-sided stone is inscribed in four languages: ancient Pali, Mon, Old Burmese, and Pew. Each side contains the same text in a different language, which allowed archaeologists to decipher the previously unknown Pew language. The Pew inscription also shows the influence of the Pew, the earliest inhabitants of Upper Burma in early Bagan history. Manuha Temple is a Buddhist temple built in Minkawa by captive Mon King Manuha in 1067. It is a rectangular building of 2 stories. The building contains 3 images of seated Buddhas and an image of Buddha entering final Nibbana. A reclining Buddha is an image that represents Buddha lying down and represents the historical Buddha during his last illness, about to enter the parinirvana. Parinirvana describes the state entered after death by someone who has attained nirvana during their lifetime. It implies a release from samsara, karma, and rebirth, as well as the dissolution of the skandhas. The Buddha lay down on his right side in the lion's sleeping posture with one foot on top of the other and his head supported by his right hand. The last words of Buddha were, All fabrications are subject to decay, bring about completion by being heedful. The Buddha entered a series of meditative states, and upon emerging from them, he immediately was totally unbound from this earthly existence and passed away. Gautama Buddha left home rejecting his life of riches at the age of 29 and attained nirvana at the age of 35 and died or attained parinirvana at the age of 80. Buddha preached three universal truths. Number one, nothing is lost in this universe, all exist in a cycle of birth and death. Number two, everything changes, nothing is permanent in this world. Number three, law of cause and effect. Whatever man sows, he reaps. Neither sacrifices nor any prayers to God can change a man's destiny. Dhammayazika Pagoda was constructed in 1196 during the reign of King Narsapati Siddhu. King Narsapati Siddhu, also known as King Siddhu II, is considered by many to be the last great king of the Bagan Empire, and he was also responsible for building a number of other impressive temples in Bagan, including the Gaudapalin and Sulamani temples. The Myazedi Pagoda is striking and unusual temple that was extensively restored in the 1990s. The temple is constructed out of bricks and features a large central dome which is painted gold during the recent restoration work. The base of the temple has 5 sides, which a smaller stupa on each side. These 5 smaller structures house statues of the 4 previous Buddha and the next Buddha who has been prophesied to follow the last Buddha, the Gautama Buddha. The Dhammayazika Pagoda features 371 tiles, each referring to one of the Jataka tales. The Jataka tales are a collection of stories from India about the previous incarnations of the Gautama Buddha, and the niches in the wall suggest that there were originally 601 of these tiles, which means that 230 of the tiles were either stolen or fell over the temple and broke. Gaudapalin temple is one of 90 religious monuments located within the city walls. It was built in AD 1175 by King Narapati Siddhu to commemorate the ceremony of paying homage to the main ancestors. Legend has it that this king had committed a sin against his ancestors by thinking that they were not as great as he. As a punishment for his sin, his eyes turned blind. At the advice of the Brahmin astrologers at the court, king made idols of his ancestors and placed them on the thrones. The king worshipped them, asking forgiveness for his sin. He regained his sight. On the place where the ceremony took place was built Gaudapalin Pagoda. The name Gaudapalin literally means the throne which was worshipped. It is one of the big cave pagodas of Bagan. This is Lawkananda Pagoda. Lawkananda Pagoda is built by Anawrahta in 1059 AD. It is a stupa with an elongated dome surmounted by a finial of concentric rings in imitation of a series of diminishing umbrellas. The 2 lower terraces are ascended by flights of steps on 4 sides, though arches are not provided above them. It is one of the typical buildings erected by Anawrahta and is still used as a place of worship, being held in great veneration by the Buddhists of Myanmar as the supposed depository of a replica of the tooth relic of Gautama Buddha. The pagoda is an ancient landmark because near it were anchored all vessels from Ceylon, Arakan and the Mon country.